republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I'd like to welcome Stephanie and the city staff to the nice meeting. We'll talk fast. The first item is the consent agenda. The listing under the consent agenda is a group of items to be acted upon with a single motion and vote. It's designed to expedite the handling of limited routine matters by the council. I will ask if anybody in the audience or on council would like to have a specific item removed from the consent agenda for discussion. And at that time, anybody can speak up prior to council's vote. The items on tonight's consent agenda include approval of the work session and regular meeting minutes of October the 24th, 2017, approval of the expenditure vouchers of November the 14th, 2017, approval of a renewal brew pub liquor license for Main Street Brewery and Restaurant, approval of 2 special event permits for the Cortez City Area Chamber of Commerce. This is for business after hours on November the 16th at ImageNet Consulting, and the other for December the 7th at Extra Realty. At this time, would anybody like to remove any of these items for discussion? All right. May I please have a motion?
Honorable Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented with the addition of $320,734.18.
Second.
Archibald.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Keel.
Aye.
Lucero.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
McLaughlin.
Aye.
Sheep.
Aye. We have no presentations tonight. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to address council? Hi there. All right, we have no public hearings. We have no unfinished business, but we do have new business. Streetlight request on North Edith. Mr. Johnson.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council.
Excuse me. Orly needs to recuse himself.
Okay. We have another streetlight request in front of us, one from residents on North Edith Street, and as you stated, it's at the intersection of Melrose Street and Acoma Street. You know, we have the, we go through this process and we have a resident group come to us. They bring us a map of their neighborhood and they mark out who is in favor of it, and they show the proposed locations. And then I would meet Orly or someone else from Empire Electric and look at the feasibility of those locations. And subsequent to writing this memo, and then the other installations we did on Andrews and 13th, we've received a lot of citizen input that stated that they were either against, and it's stated in here that there are a couple of people who are not in favor of this, and also the previous installations. And in speaking with these residents and Shane, we think that we can improve this process from our side in that when we look at a neighborhood like this and we look at all these homes and they have, even if it's a majority of the homes X'd out, we don't know what the responses are from the other ones that haven't responded. So we think that maybe we should be engaging the entire neighborhood with either a letter or something so we can get the input from them as well, so we have a full picture. And in this instance, if you look at the visual aid, you can see there's a majority of homes in this area that did, in fact.
And that's on page 25 of your packet.
I don't have the page number.
Yeah, that's. I'm here to assist you, Phil.
Thanks, boss.
Yeah.
And so we do have a lot of these homes X'd out, but there are a lot in proximity to the proposed locations that are not. And Shane and I are both on the same page in here, and you can chime in at any time.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, so the process now is people kind of self-petition us. So they come in and they say, hey, look, I'd like to do this, and I went to my neighbors, and all these neighbors signed the petition. And so we accept it, and we bring it to council and vote on it. That there's a lot of people who may not know about it. They may be out of town. They may come and see Empire putting up the lights and be like, well, geez, why wasn't I notified? So I just think that it's easy enough for us to kind of take a look at these maps and pull and say whatever the standard is, maybe something we do for rezoning or something else where we just say, okay, every home within 200 feet of this area, we'll just send them a letter and just say the city's received a petition to put a streetlight in. Here's a map of where they would go. You can send comments to this email. You can come to city council. You can, you can let us know if you're in favor or against it, and we could just, I think, put a lot more public process into it.
Make it more democratic.
Yes, sir. So,
So are you guys looking at doing this with this particular instance and tabling it for now and going ahead and sending out the letter?
I would say that this is a really good jumping off point to do this. I would like to have this application tabled and then develop, like Shane says, with a planning and zoning radius or location map, and then canvassing the area and getting those people, they can either not participate or give us what they have to say about it, and we can bring a really bigger picture for you all to make a determination on.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys thinking along those lines, because I think that would make the process a lot easier, not only on our end, but a lot more democratic on the neighborhood's end as well. So, yeah. That's all I have to say.
Is there some kind of a deadline that you're hoping to have feedback in by X date so that?
Well, I think we could discuss that, but I think, if we reached out to we could certainly give them 2 weeks notice. I mean, this isn't a fast process to begin with, but as soon as we get an initial request from a neighborhood, it's not that difficult for us to do an aerial and go out and develop a letter. It'll be a form letter, attach this visual, and then just go out and hand deliver these to these homes. Do door hangers, and that like, and we could respond in a timely fashion. So I don't think we'd delay the process. If it like say instead of being at this meeting, it would be at the following meeting. So I think that we would not put more than a 2-week delay on this if the residents get back to us.
Okay, so then what you're asking for is that we make a motion to table this?
that's right.
Okay. Is there any other discussion, council? Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Honorable Mayor, I make a motion to table the installation of the 2 100-watt high-pressure sodium streetlights on North Edith Street, one at Melrose and one at Tacoma, as requested by the residents in the neighborhood, until we can gather further information from a larger portion of the neighborhood. Does that suffice?
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Okay.
1 second.
McLaughlin.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Keel.
Aye.
Archibald.
Aye.
Sheik.
Aye. That was easy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, a change order to the 2017 street improvement project for work on Tucker Lane. Phil?
Yes, ma'am. If we can just flip to the visual, I think it's this one has it, page 31.
Oh,
I have highlighted the area that has been impacted, not solely by the construction project, but because of the subgrade that was under this road. It had been what we call alligatoring, which is cracking, which is indicative of a subgrade failure. And then the, through the impact of the water line project, where we came down here, moved east on Tucker and then went south on Balsam, that subsurface has failed. That asphalt surface is pumping and moving as traffic moves over it. So in looking at that with my team and talking to DNL, they've offered us a change order in the amount of not to exceed of $75,900. I think that given our presence in the area, that we'll be doing a patching along the east-west route and then heading south on Balsam, that it would behoove us to make this improvement now. It's going to fail, and then for us to come through there and have all this nice patchwork done on the other road surfaces that are intact, and then have this as a failure, I think would be, just not the right way to do business. And we will, like I said, this is a not-to-exceed price. Our inspector, Diane, will verify all the quantities of all the materials that will be putting in there with regards to Class 6 and the asphalt. This could be scheduled after the week of Thanksgiving. And currently, our street improvement project, we've saved approximately $45,000 by accurately measuring our materials going on North Henry specifically through Diane's efforts. And so our project is gonna come in at $45,000 less than what we had budgeted of the 1.175 million. So this, not to exceed figure is just gonna bring us to about 1.205 million, which is a nominal or a non-impact to our street improvement fund, and I think it's, something that we really need to get done.
And you'll be able to get this finished fairly quickly?
Yes, the DNL's not going to open this up until just before that Four Corners can come in and repave it, so in case we have a weather event, it's not going to deteriorate.
Okay.
They'll over-excavate 12 inches down, remove all the materials, do the prep work just prior to the paving company coming in.
It says a price not to exceed $75,962, but there's a couple of things they exclude. They exclude rock excavation, which would be added on at an hourly rate.
Right.
And permits, testing, surveying, staking, and all that. What's
Well,
your
the
best
only thing
guess
that we could-
that those two things would increase the cost by a lot?
Well, no, well, the rock excavation, we have a bid item based on amount.
Okay.
And since this is an existing road surface, and we're only going down 12 inches, we should not, going into any virgin soil whatsoever.
Okay.
So, I don't really
Yeah,
see.
I think it's kind of their standard clause, but
Right,
it
yeah, I
shouldn't.
figured it was, but
Yep.
that's, I guess, maybe the first time I laid eyes on
Yeah.
that kind of.
If we were going in, like, they have that clause in when we're doing our trenching work for our water line, because we really don't know what they're gonna run into adjacent to the existing water line. But I don't expect there to be any, surprises here.
Do you have any idea why this soil failed as bad as it did?
Well, without actually watching them over excavate, I know that underneath the road base, there's a mix of fractured rock and clay. So it's prone to movement, and the road base wasn't as deep as it should be. So I think that by, going down the 12 inches and coming up with the class 6, and then resurfacing the road, channeling it better to move the runoff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll handle it.
Yeah, it definitely is pumping.
Yeah,
It's not attractive.
no.
I was gonna say, the soil in that area has always been a little different.
Well, I have nothing further. Thanks.
All right, any other questions or comments? May I have a motion, please?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the change order, 2017 street improvement project in the amount of $75,962 for additional work on Tucker Lane.
Second.
McLaughlin. Aye. Miller.
Aye.
Archibald.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Keel.
Aye.
Lucero.
Aye.
Cheek.
Aye.
In Your Honor, before you move on, I was going to ask, Phil, could you just give council a 60-second update on the Alamosa closure and just kind of what was going on there?
Oh, sure. Well, the Alamosa closure this was a 16-inch water line replacement, the transition line, we spoke about that. That was the last section to tie in the transmission portion tying into the existing 16-inch on the north side of Alamosa. And so we waited to do that last because we were able to pressurize and, bacteriologically test the line, get all the water services tied over, and then we were tying it in to make it back into a transmission line. And what happened was today they were supposed to have it paved, and Four Corners batch plant broke down. They couldn't even do any of their work. They couldn't pave the hospital or anything. So I was on the phone with them late this afternoon, and Marty Punchak told me that they had the component coming in. They were going to be making hot mix again tomorrow. So at the very least, the section of crossing Alamosa Street will be done, so Alamosa will be open. And then we'll worry about, continuing the water trench repair.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right, engineering contract for the police department HVAC system. Rick?
Evening, Mayor and City Council. As council is aware, the city is currently under contract with M&E Engineering for the HVAC upgrades at the Cortez Rec Center. During the 2018 budget process this summer, M&E was also engaged to conduct preliminary engineering of the Cortez Police Department. This would be a piggyback engineering contract from the rec center to the police building. Because of the 24/7 nature of the Cortez Police Department, the engineering and equipment lead times, we need to construct the upgrade to the police department during low cooling and low heating demands of the year, which would be spring. This preliminary engineering would also include life cycle cost analysis and a presentation to City Council for their review and guidance on the options presented. Total amount is $32,080. And this project is scheduled in the capital projects of the 2018 city capital budget.
Are there any questions, council?
None, Rick? No, I don't have any.
All right, may I have a motion?
Honorable Mayor, I make a motion to award the engineering contract to ME&E at the $32,080 amount and authorize the city manager to execute the city professional service contract in that amount.
Second.
Carlson.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Archibald.
Aye.
McLaughlin.
Aye.
Lucero.
Aye.
Keel.
Aye.
Sheik.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
All right, cancellation of the December the 26th council meeting, Linda?
Traditionally, council has canceled the last meeting in December just because it's so close to the holidays, and this time it really is close. So we're asking if you guys would consider canceling that meeting so that we can get it posted correctly. I know, Orly. He's saying he wants to.
When's Christmas, the 25th? This is the day after. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, Ty is right, the holiday is technically over. I mean, we could come.
365 days until Christmas.
I know. It just seems weird, doesn't it? P&Z has already canceled
Feel
their
free to come.
January 2nd meeting for the holidays, so why not?
Yeah, you and Orly will be here.
So what do you think?
Well, is there anybody that,
Well, if anybody wants to come in, we could have some popcorn balls pre-made for you to come and enjoy it.
and some hot cider?
Yeah, some hot chocolate.
That's not.
Would anybody like to discuss this further?
I guess not.
And please give me a motion.
I make a motion to cancel the meeting on December 26th, 2017, in lieu that Christmas is right around the corner. Second.
Or it was just around the corner.
Miller,
Aye.
Archibald,
Aye.
Keel,
Aye.
Lucero,
Aye.
McLaughlin,
Aye.
Carlson, Sheik.
Aye.
Thank you.
We have no draft resolutions or ordinances, no other items of business. I don't think there are any citizens that want to speak to us. Question mark? There is no city attorney's report, but there is a city manager's report.
Yes, Your Honor. So two quick things. One is this Thursday evening at 5:30, we'll have our Citizens for Recreation meeting. So the folks that are working on helping us get the word out for the sales tax initiative for the rec center will meet from 5:30 to 6:30 in the Mesa Verde room. So feel free to come by if you are interested. And then secondly, I just wanted to update you. We had, I had gone to Denver a couple weeks ago to interview 8 potential interns, and 4 of them did exceptionally well. And so we had a second webinar interview with them last week, and I had a lot of the leadership team, Linda and Rick and Roy and Phil and Karen. Anyway, there's a lot of people there, and we talked to all 4 of them, and quite frankly, they made it hard on us, and so we did come down with the list. I think we agreed as a group that we'd be lucky to get any of the 4, but we do have kind of a priority list as far as 1 through 4. So I expect to have that young person kind of hire them this week. At least give them a formal job offer, and then still targeting to get them on at the start of the new year.
Do they get to rank us or people that they interviewed with?
They do, yes. And so, yeah, it's a two-way street.
Do we know how they've ranked the people that we are interested in, where we rank with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I do know, Yeah, out of the four that we talked to, a person that we had ranked third out of fourth had a place on the Front Range ranked first, and so she's going to go there. So, yeah, in the other three, I think we've got a good crack at all three. So, anyway, yeah, so it's good, and this time the communities, when I did the internship, I think that there were more communities interested than there were interns. So when I went through it, I had a choice of a few different places, and now we had 8 communities that are participating, and I think there was like 14 or 15 students. So the communities really have kind of the pick of the litter.
And
so,
is that typical? Does it kind of ebb and flow like that?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of, it depends on the year.
Gotcha.
And I did talk to Christy Culp, the Dole rep, and I said, geez, it'd be nice because there are, I know, from our pool, there's going to be at least a couple of really, really smart young people that communities could pick up. And she said the DOLA, they only have funding for 8 communities, so she's kind of out of it. Which is too bad because, the mayor could speak up, but I'll tell you, all 4 of them, like, my God, let's just get some cubicles up and hire all 4 of these whippersnappers. We'll have the city, they're all just really smart and have a lot of energy. And yeah, so.
Well, and our choice actually listed Cortez is his first choice. Is that not correct?
Well, we were the only place that he interviewed.
Right.
So yeah, some people had interviewed in all 8 communities. Some were a little bit more selective, but yeah, I think that our top 2 were pretty selective, and Cortez was on a very small list for them. So.
That's great. Good to hear.
Yep. Is that all?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
City Council Committee reports. Did anybody attend a meeting?
I went to the Economic Development meeting tonight, this afternoon, and it was an interesting speakers. They had a couple of people from the Sheriff's Department, and they went in and did a presentation on how community policing is a real vital part of economic development. And because it has community policing as opposed to just responding. If you don't have enough officers to cover it, they're always just chasing after the calls. If you can get enough officers that you're actually going out and initiating some of the investigations and stuff like that, it can really bring down the crime rate, and that can have a big effect on the way the city is perceived. And one of the things that they were talking about was right now the heroin problem in Montezuma County, and it's a pretty serious issue, and it's something I think that we should be thinking about as far as, when we're trying to do all these great things for the city. I think policing is a very important part of economic development. And I also wanted to say something about that D&L is doing that water line right in front of my house, and they have been very, very cooperative and professional. They've done a really good job out there. And in fact, right next to my house is where the irrigation line goes. And I didn't. It went the other way. The other people down. So I'm fine. But no, they have really been courteous and professional, and I'm just wanted to put in a good word for them from having them right there in my front yard. They've done an excellent job, and they seem to have good equipment and know how to use it.
It's nice to hear.
And I will second that because I'm right up the street.
Yeah.
So they've done a very, very good job. I've been really impressed. This last day, it's been hard to get in and out, but, fortunately we have another entrance to the rolling road, but they've done really well.
That's great. That's really nice to hear. Any other committee reports?
I missed the last golf advisory committee. I do know that they're getting ready to do some interviewing for the superintendent position.
This Thursday.
This Thursday. And it sounds like they have some really great applicants.
Yeah, I think we had 18 or 20 people that applied, and we're down to a top 5. So 2 are from Colorado.
One
and-
Kansas, one Missouri, and then
Yeah, I think we have,
somewhere else.
yeah, I don't want to say the Colorado cities just in case they're still employed, but we have some local and some not so local.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
It's nice to have
Sounds
a
like they all
cross-section.
have pretty good backgrounds.
Any other reports? All right, from the workshop, we are continuing our budget hearings. We heard budget reports from Ralph Machen, the airport manager, Dean Palmquist, and Joy McHenry came to present the Park and Recreation Department budget, and Rick Smith presented the General Services budget. We also had the opportunity to have a demonstration of the new recording program and to see how we could access it on the city's website so that we could go back and review city council meetings. And the suggestion was made that we all try it out at home just to see how it works at home. So,
Right, and I'd just point out that if people are watching this on Macy TV or somewhere, that this meeting is being live streamed, and they can actually get that link to the city's website.
which is there on the left-hand side under live streaming, council live streaming. So,
And we have no stunt doubles for all of you guys. No stunt doubles. We do all of our own stunts.
Other than the council members who show up on December 26th, that'll be nothing but stunt doubles.
Singing Christmas songs.
right. Well, we will not meet again until after the Thanksgiving holiday, so if any of you are traveling to be with family and friends, travel safely. If you're going to be here, why, enjoy the holiday, and we will reconvene the Tuesday afterwards.
Real quick, if you're gonna be here, we're doing a Black Friday comedy show at Angels End Zone. It's 18 and up, and it's $5 cover, and it's at 7 p.m.
What day?
Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Is that the day everyone shops?
Yeah, we're not shopping, we're telling jokes.
Or you can
About people
shop
shopping.
in lieu of your
About people shopping, probably. Black Friday Death Pool.
Is there anything else for the good of the city?
Let's go home.
Adjourn.
Jokes about tryptophan and
Oh, my.
You know, I actually heard a really good joke.